Hello, 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 beautiful people. I hope that you are all doing so well. I hope that you are thriving. I hope that you're taking care of yourself. And most importantly, I hope that you're having a beautiful month of love and an absolutely gorgeous week. It is Thursday, almost the weekend. And I just hope that everything that you've been needing to do has fallen into place like fantastically. If you didn't know where you were, and also just a reminder to myself, because I feel like I haven't done this in a long time, and I haven't. We are all here gathered in this space, which I like to call the Doing Life with Love and Magic podcast. I'm your host, Ndwentle, and this is the space whereby I like to chat shit. Well, I like to share my life's perspective as I navigate through my 20s, because the 20s be a very interesting time for learning, for growth, to make mistakes, fall on your face, pick yourself back up, build yourself down, build your personal brand, all of that good stuff. And honestly, I just want to share my journey as I navigate this era of my life, almost teach you things that I've done that maybe you shouldn't do, some perspectives that you might like, that might help aid you in your journey. I don't know. If I resonate with you, that's amazing. Thank you for rocking with me. And if I don't, that's cool as well. Please find somebody else that does resonate with your spirit, because life is honestly too short to be doing shit that doesn't absolutely light you on fire. So yeah, hello. Happy Thursday once again. I am recording this episode from the parking lot of my nearest mall. I've got how many minutes? 12 minutes to record, essentially, before I have to go to my pole class. I missed it because of a work event that was happening last weekend, so I'm just doing a quick catch up. I am not feeling in the mood to do pole today because it is 38 degrees today. I have no energy and I'm feeling so tired. So we'll see if I'm going to be able to climb up these poles and do all of these exercises or not. I don't have the most optimistic feeling about it, but you know what? We just do things and we try things. But yeah. Anyway, guys, my reason for coming back onto the podcast is because I had a little bit of a message to share, more so a thinking more than anything. So Valentine's Day was yesterday, and obviously I had this slight feeling of disappointment that I am yet again single on Valentine's Day. But then I also had this realization, and I think the reason why I was feeling so disappointed is because I have been chatting with someone for the last couple of months. And I think when it comes to these things, you always have this feeling of optimism that, hey, maybe this could be a person that could stick around, maybe not. I still had mixed feelings about it almost, and I was trying to suss out the real vibes and all of that. But ultimately, I just decided yesterday, after I didn't get a Valentine's Day message, that, listen here, this is, I'm cutting this right now. This is actual nonsense. And, granted, it was nice to hang around someone, and I knew it wasn't that serious. It didn't feel that serious to me. Honestly, I know when someone is serious in their pursuit of me, and it just honestly didn't feel that way. But, a girl likes to be delulu, and she also likes to be optimistic and hopeful. But at the end of the day, I just feel like it's just one of those where it's it was fun for the time, but now it's time to let it go and to move on and open myself up to other pursuits, potentially. Not to say that I'm going to rush into something like that. I think there are other elements of my life that I'm just trying to suss out and trying to sort and take care of, so that I feel more happy and optimistic in my life, and I have a sense of purpose outside of being in a relationship. And as much as that little bit of disappointment was there, I also didn't pay too much mind to it, because I've got my girls, and my girls are what keep me going in this life. They make me feel excited, they make me feel happy. And I'm shit, whoever comes into my life needs to treat me like these girls do, more so than anything. I've never felt more understood and loved by a group of people. And so anyone that comes into my life, I want, I just want to get that feeling from them. Like I can trust them and I can rely on them. So yeah, it was just one of those things. But anyway, in between all of that thinking about relationships and all of that, I came to the simple conclusion that I think it always comes back to it, and everyone always says it, but like, honestly speaking, really and truly, anything that's meant for you in this life, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's like a car or a house or whatever it is that you want in your heart of hearts, will never ever miss you, and it will never ever make you feel confused. Like, you will know it's right when it's right, and that thing may not necessarily like stay forever. Maybe it needs to serve a purpose for a particular amount of time while you still need it and while you still want it at that time before the next thing comes up, So I think a message that I'm trying to share with you guys, and also trying to share with myself, is to not get down on yourself when something doesn't go according to the plan, or you get excited and optimistic about something potentially going in a particular direction and it doesn't work out in that way. At the end of the day, you should feel proud and happy of yourself for putting yourself out there and pursuing something. And like with any situation that comes into your life, like there's always a nice little learning that you can take from and like tuck away into your heart and go into the rest of your journey, like knowing that, oh, I've tried this, I've experimented with that, I learned this from this situation. And yeah, I don't know, like I just think that's the thought. Like, I think for the longest time I've feared like failure in relationships and jobs and all of that, but I feel like failure in a sense is never really truly failure. It's just learnings, and it's a good thing to try something and not win at it. I think it just builds your character even more. Like, I'm sure if I sit down and reflect back on like my inverted commas failings or learnings in relationships and in my career, there's like a lot that I can be thankful for and be like, I'm so actually thankful that I went through that, because it made me see this and it made me understand this about myself, and it made me more excited to see that, or it made me want to approach things in this specific way. And so yeah, I just want to encourage you not to see any perceived setback as a setback, but more as an opportunity to kind of just reflect and readjust and keep moving forward with optimism and hope and faith that everything that you want, it's on its way to you. And while you're on your journey to getting there, you're just collecting little mementos on the way. And yeah, it's something that I tell one of my really good friends all the time when things don't necessarily go in the right way, because I honestly do believe it's true. And I just feel like right now I need to hear it, and if anyone out there needs to hear it as well, this is for you. And yeah, that's kind of just been what is on my mind. I feel like there's a lot more that I want to share about everything, but I'm just giving myself the time to kind of go through a moment whereby I feel like I'm chopping and changing. My outlook is slightly changing. Like, even the content that I listen to lately has changed. Not a whole lot, but I've added a lot more like nuances to the content that I listen to. So, and it's something I've been wanting to do for the longest time. I don't know if it's worth even talking about it right now, but essentially, like, a lot of the content that I would absorb on a daily basis includes like reaction videos on YouTube. Slightly shifted that. Now I'm heavy into Caleb Hammer's content. I don't know why. I just find it so entertaining. Some of the characters that he brings onto that show are absolutely wild. But there's just something about watching people and their finances. That's just so interesting to me lately. And I think it's because I'm in a space whereby I'm like building my finances to do the things, like, I don't know, like I just want my finance to do the things that I wanted to do. I want it to be aligned to the life that I want to lead. And so if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know I've been on this journey for a hot minute whereby I'm just trying to correct things so that I don't feel as stressed about finances anymore. And I actually don't. I couldn't tell you the last time I was like actually like 100% super stressed, like gonna cry, ready to swipe the credit card, stressed, which I feel like is a good sign, and it means that I'm on a good path. And I'm just hoping that nothing happens to kind of shake me off my course while I'm still building it. But even if, you know, something does happen, I do feel like I am on a better footing when it comes to it, because I've started, you know, setting aside certain things to like different categories and all of that good stuff. So anyway, finances is just very interesting to me right now. So I've been watching a lot of Caleb Hammer's content. The second thing that I've been really interested in is, like, as a person that's heavy in the marketing and branding space, and I feel like potentially these are topics that I might start bringing into this podcast, just depending on how I feel, because I think finding the inspiration to actually record this podcast aligned to topics that I actually find interesting and can like impart a little bit of knowledge on has been like very tricky-ish. So what I've been doing lately, to not only just also get me inspired in my day-to-day job, is I've been listening to a lot of the Founders podcast. And I mean, I don't think you necessarily have to be into marketing and branding in order to enjoy some of the content that's shared on there. But it just kind of gives you some insight into like the mindset of people that run these very successful companies and found these very successful companies. Like, I listened to this amazing one on Anna Wintour. I was so entertained. Like, it was so much fun, and I had like a great time listening to that. Some of the perspectives, I listened to one about the guy that founded Red Bull and just his mindset, and how like the common thread between all of these people that are like successful, like, is their obsession with what they do and how committed they are. And granted, some of them are a little bit extreme in their ways of showing their commitment and passion for the things that they do, but I just find it so inspiring how these people like build these like massive like conglomerates because of how dedicated to are to solving a particular problem or providing a particular service to people. And I've always admired that, because it's like something that I've wanted to bring to like my own spaces that I occupy. So I've been having a lot of fun listening to that, and like most innovative companies, like that stuff like that, just keeping like on top of, you know, things that have been happening, Stanley Cups, the children at Sephora, all the things. Like, it's just been nice to feel like I'm getting back in touch with, you know, topics and events that are relevant to my industry, but in a way that doesn't feel intimidating and like it's like an excess of information and jargon that I don't understand. But for the most part, it's imparted in a way that's kind of like fun and interesting. And so I've just had a lot of fun listening to that. A lot of like, I don't know, listening to people's stories, like the Skinny Confidential. I've just really enjoyed listening to that while I'm at gym, walking on the treadmill, like stuff like that. I've just been finding joy in. So yeah, that's kind of like where I've been mentally these days, and I haven't necessarily been in like my creation phase. Sorry about all the hootings, and I need to probably go just now. But yeah, I've just been really in that space whereby I've just been trying to absorb like positive information that's beneficial, and journaling a lot, honestly, going to bed listening to some frequency music where I can sometimes, like all of that stuff. That's what I've been up to. And yeah, thank you for spending some time with me and absorbing some of like this brain value. I guess. I have no idea when we're going to talk next. I'm just going based on how I feel these days. But I hope that it's soon. But I appreciate you for listening in. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please take care of yourself. Listen to shit that makes you feel happy. Reminder, as always, that everything and anything that is meant for you will never pass you. And you won't have to work super, super hard, breaking your back, bending backwards, all of that stuff for it to come to you. Like, yes, in some things you're gonna have to put in a little bit of extra effort, like if you want that job or whatever. And I don't know, yeah, but if you feel like you're not getting the same energy that you're giving out, like, just leave it. Life is too short. Like, find something else that will reciprocate that energy, especially when it comes to relationships. And yeah, hope you had a beautiful day, and we'll catch up soon. And yeah, anyway, what's my closing line again? Oh, with everything that you do in this life, don't forget to do it with love and a sprinkling of magic, even if it's sitting in your car recording a podcast. Okay, cool. Goodbye.